is Dan, and I have an exciting announcement today. I am getting started with what I hope will be a long-lasting enterprise. I'm going to begin producing a weekly one-page document, one-page piece of artwork, focusing especially on cross-hatching, perhaps not exclusively, but primarily. And it's going to be a piece of artwork, and it's going to be a piece of rumination. That means thinking, and I'm going to call it Cross Hatch Inkling. I love this name. I know it's a little bit weird, like, say that again? Cross Hatch, with reference to Cross Hatch Inkling. And of course, the word inkling means I have a hunch. I have an inkling, which gives me free rein to talk about just about whatever I want to talk about, and yet not to feel the pressure of having to make firm pronouncements. Very few papal bulls coming from this activity. More like, let's think about this. Let me take just a second and show you. First of all, I have a logo that I'm kind of proud of, and this is hand lettered. Of course, I did that with this pen a couple days ago. So that's my new masthead. And I was thinking about this project and I laid in my bed a couple mornings ago and dreamt up this image, which is clearly an angel. I am not overly given to drawing or painting angels, but every once in a while. And that's a good thing to have inklings about. So I actually did this quick sketch at the breakfast table. And after doing that, I came up to my studio and I did this version of it. And I liked it pretty well, except that this arm and hand were in the wrong position. So I drew another hand, and then in Photoshop, I put this hand in there and lifted up this arm a little bit so that I ended up with the image that is taped already to the back of this paper. So as you can see, I'm going to be doing some tracing, and I'm going to be doing some cross-hatching. And the first thing I'm going to use is a Faber-Castell. It's called an F8. It's a flexible hard. There's also a FM, which I think is flexible medium. So I'm starting this drawing not with a technical pen or a pictograph pen, but a cheap, if you will, felt tip pen. All right, here goes. You ready? Hold your breath. While I've got the drawing table light off, I will do the hand as well. Part of the reason I chose to use this flexible nib is so that I can get a little bit of an expressive line. That is, when you push down harder, you get a fatter line. And when you lift up on the pen, you get a thinner line. And usually an expressive line is more interesting. If you're one of my regular followers, you know I talk a ton about interesting lines, interesting marks and interesting lines. All right, now I'm going to turn my light table back on. There are many, many different ways to do artwork, and for some reason, more than 40 years ago, I got into the habit of using a light table and tracing my artwork. So this has been my standard operating procedure for many, many, many years. Now, my primary hope here is that I'm going to do a good, winsome, interesting, yea, verily, a beautiful illustration. As an illustrator, I've actually had to deal with this subject, what does an angel look like? Because I contend that nobody knows. But in our Western civilization, if you draw an anthropomorphic creature, a man with wings, then everybody will recognize him as an angel. It's the wings that make the angel, even though the evidence from the Hebrew and Greek Bible the Jewish Bible and the Christian Bible, that there is very scant evidence that angels actually have wings. Cherubim have wings. That's another story, isn't it? So I'm about to begin serious cross-hatching. Here we go. Take a breath. Just a comment about the face that I'm drawing. I did this whole everything out of my head. I did not look at any reference, which gives that's not superior, by the way. That is, doing it out of one's head does not, that's not, what am I trying to say? That's not showing off, that's not bragging. It's like, I do this out of my head. No, quite the contrary. Real artists, quote unquote, real artists most of the time do and should look at reference photographs or reference live models when they draw or render, especially a human being. So for me to say I'm doing it without looking at any reference means two things. One, I'm behaving somewhat like a traditional, centuries-old illustrator. There is a kind of illustration, a style of illustration that is marked by the look one creates when one draws directly out of one's head without looking at photographs. Very typically, we end up with a different style, a different feel. And that is exactly the style, the feel that I decided to achieve on this particular illustration.